Hey, Cancer. So I am here to do, this evening, I'm here to do a work and career reading for Cancer. And it's a different kind of work and career reading. It's to look at issues in particular that you might be having on the job with a particular coworker or supervisor, someone of that nature. So, as we all know, with work comes, difficult workplace coworkers and individuals who there's always at least one on every job that seems to be after you, that seems to be trying to mess you up, that seems to have some kind of beef going with you. Sometimes you know about the beef, sometimes you don't know about the beef. And so that's what this reading is here to address. So Cancer versus everybody. So I'm going to give a general message concerning those of you Cancers about, just a general read on the workplace difficulty itself and any general message that comes through as to how to deal with that. And then what I'll be looking at is each individual sign of the zodiac and you versus them. So how to handle that workplace bully, how to handle that difficult individual, and we'll figure it out by their astrology sign. So, in most situations, you can find out what a person's astrology sign is, especially workplace situations, usually. If you've been working at a place for longer than a few minutes, then, people have little birthday cakes and celebrations at work, or there's some mention made of a birthday. So a lot of times you already know what zodiac sign someone is. And using that information, you'll be able to figure out how to best proceed with that difficult individual. All right, let me move these out of the way here, make space. So let me pull my general spread. All right, Cancer. The first card that I pulled is the Empress in reverse. And so this is really talking to me about, the fact that in the particular situation that you find yourself in, this really isn't, because sometimes we are the problem, right? But in this case, what I'm seeing is this really is not you, Cancer, who is the problem here. There's not any real fairness going on in this situation. And with this Five of Cups, it's like really a stressful situation as far as it feels like something that you have to deal with. Although, anytime you try to step up and do something, go your own way with something, it seems like you keep getting brought down by this other individual. In this case, what I'm seeing in particular is a case where, we all have our own ways of doing things, and even when it relates to job duties, right? So this person is really hating on the fact that you kind of do things with a certain flair that gets you attention. And because of that, they feel threatened. They feel like they have to do something to kind of like sabotage you or make you look bad. And so your expression of how you get things done with maybe some panache is really getting attacked by this other person. and they are, at this point at least, they successfully have the ear of someone around you in charge that can, so that they can have some influence over that person. Another situation that I'm seeing, and you'll have to determine which of these situations fits, but another situation that I'm seeing is that that person is not, they are working not alone. They have other buddies in the workplace that are supporting their little nefarious scheme, right, against you. So it's kind of like you're being bullied or ganged up on in regards to this same issue. So when we do go into each particular zodiac sign, you can handle that a couple of different ways. You can look at that main aggressor's zodiac sign and take the advice as far as dealing with them. Or you can, if you know zodiac signs of the others as well, you can look at their zodiac signs and take those messages into consideration. Okay. All right. The second card that I get in regards to this is Judgment reversed. And this person is doing their damn best to call you on the carpet and make sure that you have to face the judgment of those above you, right? So you see, like, she's about to ascend this staircase, and what awaits her at the top is the judgment of those in charge. And so because this card is in reverse, what that's telling me is, because she's blowing the horn, man, like we said back here, she's making some noise. And when I say she, please know that I'm just vibing off of the artwork in this card. In this particular case, this can very well be a man that's doing this or responsible for it, and this can, if you are a male Cancer watching this, this can represent you walking up those steps, okay? So let's not get caught up on that in particular as I try to get this message out. Because this card is in reverse, what I'm seeing with it is their attempt is going to be unsuccessful in regards to doing all that they would have happen to you. So really, the feeling is that this person wants you no longer there. They want you reprimanded to the point of being released from employment is what their aim is. And what I'm seeing is, with this in the reverse, is that is not going to be successful. Their goal here, they're not going to be able to reach. There will be no ascension up that staircase. Not to say that you may not have to speak to someone in charge, but you will not, it won't go as far as this person would like it to go. All right. So with the Six of Wands here, this is you being victorious. The Six of Wands is a card of victory in the tarot. And not only is it a card of victory, it's a card of being celebrated. So I see that, you may come out of this with some kudos for your good work. What I will say about that is, it will require some things of you, though. You need to have your ducks in a row, right? All these wands are in a row, and then she's holding a wand, and she's holding it as if she knows what she's doing with it. Make sure your ducks are in a row. Your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. Make sure you're covering your ass every step of the way. Also, hold on, I'm sorry, I'm getting another message here. Yeah, so make sure you're covering your ass, and make sure that you're being vigilant about, what needs to be done, and that when you do, should you have to go speak to a supervisor or someone in charge here, make sure that you are very prepared to show with a I'm seeing like being able to show like emails, being able to show documentation, have it all lined up so that you're able to show it. And not only show it, you need to be able to talk your way through it. So you need to have the evidence that you are doing the things that you are supposed to be doing in the way that they're supposed to be done. And you need to be able to show that, and you need to be able to walk that supervisor through so that they can see that this is how it's happening. All right. So you need to be vigilant about that and be prepared. And in doing so, you will be successful as far as putting down this plot that is against you. And you'll be able, if you keep your stance professional, this other person, the supervisor will be able to see that this other person is being petty and vindictive. However, if you were to go in, say, to their office and you want to argue, or you want to get upset and become emotional, or you want to just talk crap about this person, then you're not going to necessarily be able to take advantage of this opportunity for victory for you. All right. So be professional. Walk in looking the part, looking ready, with all your evidence that you are ready, and being able to talk it through. Just think about it like how a lawyer would in court. Just the lawyer would go with all the evidence, and the lawyer would be able to walk the jury through, or the judge through, each piece of evidence. And that's really how your demeanor has to be, okay, in this situation. All right, so let me move these out the way. And what we'll do is we will, like I said, examine your foe by astrology sign. So let me go ahead and get these laid out here. All right, let me get some more space going. Let me organize this a little better. All right, so let me shuffle and get some cards out here so we can look at each of these individuals and see what's the best plan. Spirit, give us the best plan for Cancer against these individuals in the workplace. How to handle them specifically as they show up here by zodiac sign. All right. Let's get your cards out here. Well, 2 came out here, so I'll just take them. All right. So Cancer, if that person that's working against you indeed is another Cancer, I pulled the King, which is the God of Wands, in this particular deck for advice. And Cancer, I think you may need to look here at another individual around this other Cancer person who appears to be working with them. However, as you see here in this card with this cat, his eyes, the cat's eyes, are clearly looking off to the side. So even though it's like I'm sitting with you, but I am maybe not all the way 100% with you. I'm with you, from the stance of, yeah, we're buddies on the job and everything, and I stand with you because maybe there's times that you've stood with me. But the truth of the matter is, I don't necessarily agree with what you're doing to this other Cancer over here. And so there may be an opportunity there for you to weaken your opponent by getting to this person, and because I feel like this person would actually tell you some key things that this other Cancer has planned for you. And they would give you some key things, they would give you information about key things that this other Cancer has said and done against you. And they may even, I'm just getting a feeling as well that they, you get good enough in their ear and be friendly enough with them, they would actually even tell you some things that this other Cancer, uh, they shed light on this other Cancer's weakness in the workplace as well. So to give you some ammunition. So the key that you have to remember about this though is this person here, you can't just approach them outright straight on where everybody can see you. You kind of have to find a way to kind of get to this person when no one's around, no one's looking, no one's going to see them associating with you, because I do feel like they do have a great sense of loyalty towards this other Cancer, okay? And so they don't want this other Cancer to get wind of the fact that they're talking to you. But if you can get to them, I think you can really get a lot of very good information from them. The other thing that I'm getting from this King of Wands is that this other Cancer is way too cocky. Okay. They're way too cocky in the way that they're going about what they're doing to you. All right. So we know that could trip somebody up, being way too cocky, right? So you can look, if you're observant enough, you can look and probably find some weaknesses in their plan of attack, and you can find weaknesses in the things that they've done. So those are all things that you can use to work to your advantage. You will just have to really take a discerning eye, and yeah, because this other Cancer really feels like they're in a place of power, as far as they feel like, oh, I'm not going to get messed up. I know what I'm doing here. This attack is going to go off just as I planned. All right, for those of you whose foe is a Scorpio sun sign, I have the 9 of Pentacles. So what's really bothering this person is that you seem to have it all together, right? They don't like, or they're bothered by your self-assured style and how everyone in the workplace, or at least the key people in the workplace, kind of view you as, a great employee, maybe that has it pulled together, like you're dependable, you're there when needed, and that truly bothers them. So that is where the attack is coming from. It's coming from a place of jealousy and haterism, which I'm sure, yeah, that's easy to figure out, right? But that's what it is. And the other thing about it is, I think that, no matter what you would do, you wouldn't be able to soften this Scorpio's attitude towards you. Like they're just going to be on the attack, or they're going to be a hater no matter what. Sometimes you have a hater, and sometimes even if it has to be through defeat of that foe, they can turn into someone that you can get along with, but not in the case of this Scorpio. Is being further clarified by the Knight of Swords in reverse. So I think that the key here is going to be really hitting them where it hurts. And how I feel is, let's see. For number one, I feel like their mouth is way too slick, if that makes sense. So I feel like they say things that are off color. And I think that already rubs some key people the wrong way. So if you can, it's kind of like you should form there's two things here. You can form a group of associates or broaden your group of associates that you do get along well with. You can broaden them to include some people that this Scorpio actually rubs the wrong way, right? And then what you'll find is that they'll provide, those people talk. So they're going to bring you more information in regards to what's coming down the pike for you. And the other thing is, for some of you, I feel like that Scorpio actually rubs some people in charge the wrong way, but their work is also respected. So, a lot of times when your work is respected, your supervisor doesn't have to 100% like you, but they'll respect the fact that they need you to perform particular duties on the job and that you do them well, and that's valuable to them, right? So, but I feel like, for some of you, this Scorpio has offended or they just come off wrong to certain people in charge. And when you are in a position where you have to defend yourself, like we were talking during the general advice here, you can stage your conversation with those higher ups. You can slip things into or weave things into that conversation that we were talking about, where you have all your ducks in a row, right? You can kind of weave a nuance in there that highlights this person's brashness. And I feel like that would go over well. Just don't go overboard with it. Make sure it's subtle, and it will be enough of a reminder to that supervisor that, this person really is, a piece of work. All right. For those of you whose foe is a Sagittarius, I pulled the Four of Swords. I pulled it in the reverse though. And what I'm seeing with this is part of what is keeping you off balance as far as the way this Sagittarius is attacking you is that it is messing with your rest. And like, you go home and you're thinking about this. You go home and you're not really releasing, you're not leaving the office stuff at the office. It follows you home. It disrupts your sleep at night. And because it disrupts your sleep at night, you're not your best when you do go to work. So it's an attack that's, vicious, because it doesn't stop at the office. What this person does at the office is one thing, but what they do also affects you once you get home, right? So that's just a warning there of learning how to release, getting a hold of your stress, and that will go far to help you keep your presence the way you should when you're in the office. Also, with the Sagittarius, I pulled the Chariot upright. And it's interesting because this is the card of Cancer. So, and it's a card of movement. And it even says on the bottom of the card here, Lord of the Triumph of Light. So I feel like doing some extra time to look at something with this Sagittarius in their particular behaviors and their particular performance on the job that you can actually shine a spotlight on. So shining that spotlight directly on something that they're doing is going to be like hitting a bullseye that's going to take this person out, so to speak. Hope that makes sense. Because I don't think, as much as this Sagittarius wants to cause disruption, I don't think their whole backyard is clean. Like, they're attacking you, but Yeah, they're leaving themselves open for attack. You're just going to have to do some homework to figure out where that area is that you need to shine that spotlight. But with that chariot card, you can be successful in it. And with it being a Cancer card, that means, it will come out in your favor. All right, if the person who is your foe is an Aquarius, this is the card. This is when two cards kind of came out at the same time for this particular one. The first one was the Four of Wands. The second one, the Ace of Cups. So let me look at this here. So what's happening with the attack from this Aquarius is it's attacking, it's going to the sense of, or the feeling of stability. The attack is kind of like focused on how stable you feel on that job, like as far as I just see that they are, in their little nasty minds, basically, they are focused on making you feel as if the stability of your job is in question, right? Like they're really trying to unnerve you in that way. And they're also, emotionally playing games with you on the job, right? And so they actually want this whole emotion to just get out of control so that you'll do something stupid. And they would love it if you would do something stupid because you're thinking, well, hell, I ain't going to be here much longer anyways because these people are about to fire. Like that's the kind of pressure that they would love, and they're trying their hardest to put on you. Okay, just keep that in mind. It's kind of a two-pronged attack, and I think that is exactly why two cards two cards forced their way out here for this Aquarius. I clarify it with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So what that is telling me is be careful, Cancer, because this person actually, they have a better than usual shot here of being successful with their attack on you. They really, really do. And I think it's been going on longer than you realize. And if you don't handle it exactly right, like we were talking about in the general advice, if you don't handle your defense exactly right, then you will succumb to the attack. They will be successful. My advice here is I would start documenting things. If that means you want to keep a small notebook that you carry with you, that you don't leave at your desk, that you always make sure you have on you, or if you take notes electronically, maybe on your phone or a tablet, making sure that no one has access to it. You want to keep notes because I feel like there's a lot of really crazy little details that you can be catching as far as things that are happening during the day, because this Aquarius seems to really be in full-on attack mode. And so and they feel as if they're being bold with it. Maybe not bold in the presence of those who could reprimand them, but bold when it's just you and everyone else that may be on the same level is around, right? Because a lot of people, won't want to get involved. They won't want to say anything because why make it harder for me? Why I got to be answering a bunch of questions when all I want to do is come to work and go home, right? Kind of that kind of attitude amongst some other coworkers. So people tend to look the other way. But if you are to keep a record of what's happening and when things occur, the time, who's around, you should be recording that kind of information. The time, who's around, what's done, and how it made you feel. Because it feels like I said, this is an extremely bold attack, and it feels like hostile workplace environment type of stuff is what this Aquarius is up to. Okay, so documentation is key in those types of things, and also, you have to look at how boldly is it full on workplace harassment, because if it is, then there are agencies and stuff that you may have some recourse through. But once you do approach, when you do have to speak to someone in charge, if you go in clearly in charge of the narrative and able to give times, dates, and places to certain things, well, then not only is management going to know you're serious, but once management's done talking with you, this person's going to know you're serious. And so that may be where you have a chance to put this nonsense with this Aquarius to rest. Okay, so if your foe is an Aries, sun sign Aries, I pulled the Daughter of Cups in reverse, which is the Page of Cups in reverse. Be wary about this Aries pretending to have dropped everything, or, now they're going to play nice with you, because I feel like that's a falsehood. Don't trust that. Because if you think that, oh, okay, Aries has finally calmed down, they've come to their senses, what have you, I'm so happy this is, I can put this behind me. Now let me get back to my normal work, and I'm just nice, and, I'm going to play nice with that person. And excuse any background noises you're hearing. I do live in this city, so I can't get rid of all the noise. But as I was saying, if you feel like, okay, the danger's over, and now, all right, so this person's being nice, I'll be nice. No, this person's not being nice. This is just, they're trying to be more stealthy, but they're using, charm to do it, right? Magnetism to do it. So this Aries hasn't changed their goal. They've just changed their tactic. And you need to be careful about that, because it will work against you, because they're doing it to just, like I said, be more stealthy about how they're collecting information that they're going to try to use towards your demise. Be careful with the Aries. All right. If the person that's your foe is a Gemini, I pulled the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And again, here with this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, be very careful, because the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is kind of like a you lose kind of card, okay, in a big way. So you want to handle the Gemini, you really want to handle the Gemini really well, as far as, I feel like the Gemini's attacks are more shallow than they appear, okay? I don't think I think the Gemini may have you believing at this point that, their attack is stronger than it is. It's, they may have, because what I'm feeling is, you may have done something that the Gemini is holding over your head, and you feel as if, okay, they got me, I'm screwed. And you're playing, you're doing this dance with the Gemini because they got you, they saw it, they know about it, or however it is, right? And they can use it against you. Well, with this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and just the feeling that I'm getting from it coming across, their attack isn't as well locked down as you think it is. They may be bluffing to a large degree, is what I'm feeling. Not to say that they can't attack, it's just not as solid as you think it is, right? Um, but if during the time that you've been believing that it was a solid attack, you revealed something and this Gemini is aware of that, then that could be problematic for you, right? And so you're going to have to go back and listen to the general advice and really play to that, because if you slip up, this Gemini is crafty enough that they'll get the upper hand on you, okay? And that will not end well for you. All right, let me clear these out the way so we can make room for everyone else here. I hope you guys are finding this type of reading helpful. If so, leave me a comment and let me know. Okay. All right, get some cards out. Alrighty. So the first one I have here is Taurus. So if your foe is a Taurus, I have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Let's see what I'm getting here. Ooh, wait a minute. Sorry about that. Knocking the camera over. Let me pull a clarifier. Wow, Six of Pentacles with the Five of Pentacles in reverse to clarify. All right. What I'm getting here is that this Taurus really is in a position of being in the right people's ear as far as the way that they're attacking you. But with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, there is opportunity here for you to get out from under their attack. And why I say that is the Five of Pentacles is a card that traditionally shows, someone out in the cold, out in the snow, can't get to the things that they need. With it being in reverse, it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It just means that there's a way for you to get out from under their attack. And again, you'll have to go back, listen to the general advice to understand that you need to follow that to the T. Excuse me. But also what I'm seeing here is that this Taurus individual, if they're not already in a period at work where their energy is kind of scattered all over the place, that period of time is coming up here very soon. And they won't necessarily have the time to pay attention to just be like so on your back the way that they have been, okay? And you'll need to take advantage of that time when they're distracted by other things so that you can build your case stronger. And so that if you have an opportunity that comes up during that time, or really, to be honest, what I'm seeing is create an opportunity for yourself that during that time when that Taurus is distracted by other, it feels like that Taurus will be distracted because there'll be so many different demands being made on them at work that their attention is going to be going in different directions. Therefore, they really won't be able to stay focused on you in the way that they have been. So if you can, during that time where they're a little scattered, if you can create an opportunity in the workplace where you either like bring an idea to the forefront that's going to be something great that the boss is going to love, where do something that's seen as an achievement, where you find a way to excel a little bit to where you get some recognition, that's going to start the ball rolling in a way in which it's going to diminish the attack that the Taurus has launched against you. Okay. And if you can keep it going and then follow the general advice, what I would say to you is that you'll be able to get out from under this person's attack. All right. So that's for the Taurus. Now, if your foe is a Pisces, I pulled the Two of Wands in reverse. And what I'm seeing with this card, Cancer, this is how it looks upright, is that this is really doing a number on your head. Like, this Pisces may have you feeling a little dizzy as far as your focus is off, you're not seeing things clearly as far as it's just got the attack has gotten inside your head. It's become mental for you is what I'm seeing. So it's scattering your energy, it's scattering your focus, which is really leading to the potential for you to make some really clear mistakes that the Pisces can actually use against you. So you need to be careful of that. You need to release the fear around what's happening, because it feels like a fear of I can't really lose this job. This is I need this job to pay rent. I need this, and this person, I can't believe it. They're doing this to me. Like, you need to lose that stress and that fear around what's happening so that you can refocus yourself in a very clear manner. That is the way to actually, it's your mental that you need to get under control so that you can alleviate the ruin that this Pisces is trying to leverage. I'm sorry. You can alleviate the ruin that this Pisces is trying to throw on top of you. Okay. The attack is bad from what I'm seeing, like really bad. However, if you don't get your mental together, it's going to be 10 times worse with this 10 of Swords in reverse. Okay. So just know that part of the problem is you, and you're going to have to figure out how you're going to deal with that stress, how you're going to let go of the anxiety, and so that you can refocus yourself and become more clear-headed. This person is messing with your head badly. I'm sorry to say. All right, so if your foe is a Virgo, all right, I have the Daughter of Wands, which is the Page of Wands. And the whole feeling that I'm getting from this is that this Virgo really is not... First of all, it's two things. They're attacking you because you're outshining them, and their talent doesn't measure up to yours. The second thing that I'm getting is they don't have the appropriate knowledge or skills to even compete with you, right? So what I'm seeing here in a sense is if they want a competition, give them a competition, because if they it's kind of like they don't want you outshining them. So go ahead and freaking outshine them, like outshine the hell out of them, right? Don't be cocky about it. And that'll be the best revenge. Don't be cocky about it. And don't do anything that rubs this Virgo's nose in it. You won't have to, because just you outshining the hell out of them, they're going to rub their own nose in it. So you just make sure that in front of those that you are accountable to, your management, that you are shining like a damn diamond. I don't even feel like this Virgo is accomplished enough to really just full on attack you. I think they talk a lot of shit, but I don't think they have everything they need to back up their shit. So I get this feeling of it, of this individual not being so bright. Okay. So again, everyone needs to, no matter who your foe is, you need to look at the general advice, but these little pieces that I'm giving you with each sign is just an extra little piece of something to be, to make this, it helps to make it more along the lines of a more personal reading that way. Okay. So if your foe is a Libra, and pull the Goddess of Cups, which is the Page of Cups. And oh my gosh, these people and their fakeness really kills me. Again, with this Goddess of Cups, they're going to use fake friends, fake niceness. Oh, I've laid down this fight kind of thing. They haven't laid down shit. Don't accept the cup, right? Because the cup has poisoned wine in it, all right? They're going to try to fucking mess you up by befriending you, air quotes. And the whole time, they're going to use that fake friendship to gather what they feel like they need to stab you in the back. So that's their next move on their part. Make sure you're being vigilant with your crossing your T's and dotting your I's, and politely decline the cup that they offer. All right? All right, if your foe is a Leo, I pulled the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. And what that's telling me is there's an opportunity. I don't know. This is a very specific message, but if it applies to you, please take it. There's an opportunity for you to bust this Leo red-handed as they take some of your work and pass it off as their own. And if you can successfully prove that, you can end this attack. All right? Yeah. You will bring their own sorrow back to them with this 3 of Swords. They are in some way ripping off your work. Now, I don't know that this is, it sounds very, I mean, it could be for a great number of you. It just coming out of my mouth, it's sounding like it's a particular message and for just a few people, but I could be wrong on that. Sometimes that is the message, and that's it. And so for Leo, if that is your foe, I would look in particular at that to see if that is applicable in your case. See if they are indeed ripping off your work in some way. If it's not, if you're not in a workplace where it's like, you know, you have work projects that you're working on in that regard, I would look at how are they ripping off the workplace. Are they ripping off their employer, your employer, you know, like, are they stealing time? So are they clocking in or having someone clock them in and they're not actually there yet? It has to do with stealing something. With this Leo. This Leo is stealing something. If they're not stealing your work product, it's like they're stealing something else. Resources, time, or something of the employer. So if there's a way for you to observe and figure that piece of it out, then you can heap back onto this Leo all the bullshit they're heaping onto you currently. All right. All right, last but not least, we have the Capricorns. So if your foe is a Capricorn, actually pulled the Eight of Cups in reverse. And what this is telling me is this Capricorn is not walking away from this fight. Not with this being in reverse. They are not walking away from it. And to clarify it, I have the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is telling me that as far as advice for you in dealing with this Capricorn, you know, stand firm and keep your nose to the grindstone. So the Knight of Pentacles in the tarot deck is the slowest moving knight. In fact, if you really look at the Knight of Pentacles card in most tarot decks, he's not moving at all. So, and in many of them, he has like roots that are attaching him to the ground. So what that's saying is, you know, don't give this Capricorn any additional ground. Stand your ground firmly. You have to meet their attack through strength and firmness. You cannot back down from this Capricorn. And that's the tactic that you want, because the moment you show weakness with this Capricorn, they're going to wipe up the floor with you. So if you have been in a situation with them where, you know, you've been retreating and you know, they obviously see that you're not standing your ground, you better fake it till you make it. Stand your ground with this Capricorn. They, you know, they're not of a mind to go away and just disappear with their attack. And you need to match their strength. Otherwise, they will run ramshot all over you. All right, Cancer, those are the messages that I'm getting. Again, this is a general read. So don't try to make anything that doesn't fit for you fit. Keep in mind, you know, you are alone responsible for making the best decisions when it comes to your career, your job, and making wise decisions. This is just meant as advice to give you additional insight into what may be going on in your situation, okay? Any decisions that you make are completely of your own doing. So take this advice for what it's worth. Hopefully it gives you the insight that you need to be successful in your workplace difficulties that you're facing. And I hope it has helped, Cancer. And until next time, you guys keep it all together and be the best that you can be. All right. Talk to you soon.